Hey there guys, I am the Sixth Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. So as we all knew, the Sisters and the Drukhari box set Piety and Pain, as well as the Drukhari Codex itself, is up for pre-order next weekend. So as expected, GW have shown us today on the Warhammer community page not only the Piety and Pain box, but also the Drukhari Codex and, as we've seen with other armies, a brand new exclusive Combat Patrol box for the Drukhari. So for this video, I kind of just wanted to talk about the Combat Patrol box itself, like we've done for the Space Wolves and the Blood Angels and the Dark Angels previously, and as per the other boxes, I'm assuming this is going to be coming in at around £85, and in my opinion, it's actually one of the cooler and better Combat Patrol boxes we've seen so far. Being led by an Archon, the box brings along 10 Cabalite Warriors and 5 Incubi, both with their new and improved stat lines and weapon profiles, and not one vehicle like the other boxes. Instead you get not only a Raider to transport your Incubi or your warriors, but you also get a very welcome Ravager to bring some heavy firepower to your force as well. And with the updated D3 plus 3 damage on the Dark Lances, this can definitely do quite a lot of work. From Games Workshop, I think you'd be looking at around £135 for these units, so there's definitely a saving to be made, and especially if you can pick it up from a third-party retailer, you can essentially be getting the Archon and the Ravager completely free at least, which is of course very welcome if you've already, got enough Archons or enough Ravagers and just want to try and sell them on. You can still definitely get the rest of the stuff in the box for a very, very, very good price. What I really like about this box is that it's a nice little patrol army, roughly around 500 or so points with upgrades and whatnot. It gets you a very decent little shooty force with the Warriors and the Ravager, but also with the Archon and the Incubi you have a very potent melee contingent as well, which you can pop into the Raider to really get them up the board fast. It just has a little bit of everything, and I think Drukhari players are going to be very happy with this Combat Patrol being able to play, a nice little combat force which lets them do something in every phase of the game, except the psychic phase of course, but you've got, a lot of movement, you've got some decent shooting, and you've got some melee, so you can really take part in every phase of the game, even with this small little 500 point force. So while I think it is a very good way for new players to start, it's also a great force for existing players, I think. I mean, yes, admittedly, lots of people will have 3 Ravagers and that sort of thing because of the previous 8th edition meta, but it is still nice to have those extra Warriors and the Raiders, and it does look like Incubi are going to be much more usable in this codex with the changes we've seen. So not only is it great for new people that are starting Drukhari, but I think people that have also got maybe not a full Drukhari force but have got a good portion of a Drukhari force are still going to want to add this just to fill out the rest of those slots. Maybe get that third Ravager or get those Warriors to fill out their troop choices, or get the Incubi and really give them a try in this edition. I also think that, and as I said, I'm not going to dwell on this too much, but it is a nice way to supplement the force you get in the Piety and Pain box, which gives you not only the fantastic new Lilith model, but also a really handy Venom, some Witches, and a unit of 5 Scourges. So if you get both these boxes, you will end up with a really fun and fluffy force, which ends up being around 800 or so points, I think, at the moment, but with a few upgrades and weapon options and that kind of thing, you could easily get close to a 1000 point, really nice little starter army for the Drukhari, and again, gives you a fantastic mixture of mobility with the 2 transports, some great shooting with the Ravager and anti-vehicle stuff with the Scourges if you take the Haywire guns, and some incredibly solid melee with the Incubi, the Witches, and Lilith. Now, we don't know, I don't think, the price of the Piety and Pain box set, but hopefully it won't be too expensive. I think £100 would probably be a reasonable price point for what I think is in there and what I think Games Workshop will do, and especially if you sell on the Sisters or give them to a friend if you don't need them, it gives you a pretty decent little Drukhari force to get started with, and if you add in the Combat Patrol to that, you have your nice 1000 point-ish Drukhari army for under £200. And if you sell the Sisters, then it could even be approaching 150 or something like that, which is, for a 1000 point army, pretty great value, I think. The Codex itself is up for pre-order on the 20th, as I mentioned, so presumably over the next week we will be seeing a lot of the upcoming rules and new stat lines and special abilities that you Drukhari players have to look forward to, and of course that may well make the Combat Patrol box even more worthwhile. As I said, we've seen the changes for the Incubi and the Warriors and the guns on the Ravager, but any other changes that may make them more efficient or may make the units in there, better, will definitely make this Combat Patrol even more worthwhile getting. So that is it for today. A pretty solid few releases coming up for Drukhari players, and I know a few people in my gaming group who are already pretty excited for the Combat Patrol, but what do you think? Do you like this Combat Patrol? How do you think it compares to the Marine or the Death Guard ones? And I'd also like to know what you think of the Piety and Pain box. If it was around £100, do you think that would be worth getting, or is that still a little bit too expensive for what you get in there? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, please leave a like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me. I will be covering the Warhammer community articles over the next week as we cover some Drukhari rules and special abilities and that kind of thing, and see what else they may be getting in their codex. But until next time, I will catch you later, guys.